How's it going, YouTube? Comments in today with another video, and today, guys, the video is going to be the state of the game. Now, this is really important because I want to make sure that your theory and your deck building is really attuned to the format. We'll talk a little bit about after nationals, but it's going to be mostly about pre-nationals, which is really important. There's a lot to go over. Definitely go ahead and check out my sponsors over on RW, Cloud, Gem, Arla, Imperium, Dragonshield, and Grimoire down below in the description. I appreciate it. You can also go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 30,000 by the end of the year. And just a reminder to everyone, I am still running the card drive. I run it year-round now. It was supposed to just be like a special thing for Christmas, but it got so popular and I get so many different things sent in that I run it year-round now. If you know someone, or if even yourself, that just can't afford cards to be able to play the game that we all love, let me know. Reach out through my Discord link down below in the description. I can send decks out. Like, I have multiple decks just ready to go. And, I just need to make sure that they're going to where they need to go. So if we know people that can't afford cards, let me know, and I'll make sure that they get to the right people. And, that's another thing that I'm really happy to be able to do for you all. It's really great. So, that's one thing that I'm happy I can do. But without further ado, let's hop right on into the video. So the first thing I have for you today is going to be the Charmies. The Charmies are really interesting, and they're definitely not maxi, but they feel like maxi sometimes. And I'm being completely transparent when I say that you're going to see my name be GGPKM if we ever get maxi legal again. I will not be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that card is just the absolute worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Maxi is unhinged. It is the forever forbidden card. I'd almost rather Forceful Sentry be legal before Maxi. Like, it's just not a fair card in general, and it's something that I do not want to deal with ever again. Now, the Charmies, they're a little different. Yes, I wish they would have just said once per turn, not twice per turn, right? But it's fine. I feel like they're all very unique, and it's going to be a different way to be able to look at a format as far as, like, which Charmy you want to play. I know a lot of people ask me why I played 3 Purlia in the main deck for the last event, but I feel like it was just correct, especially into this format. I think Purlia is, like, really insane. Malaz always ends up being, like, the worst one of the 3, which is unfortunate, but you still usually see people play, like, 7 to 9 Charmies anyway, so you never really get away from playing Charmies. But right now, it's definitely, like, Fua and Purlia, but Malaz is just not the time for it, and maybe we'll see it in the future where it's like, man, this card is the one that you have to play, right? But we'll have to wait and see. Now, what are the best decks in the format? And that's a really interesting question because you definitely would say Mitsurugi Ryzeal or Mitsurugi Pure or Mitsurugi Fiendsmith being like the best deck. And I know some people were like, well, it's still definitely just Malice. But like, I don't know. I think that overall, the scarier deck to even play against in an event is definitely Mitsurugi. And I feel like that deck is way stronger than Malice, but like Malice is also like pretty strong, so they're definitely next to each other in a tier list, right? They're not like below each other. But I feel like if I had to pick a better deck right now, I'm definitely just saying the Mitsurugi deck, because cards like X and the Ryzeal cards are broken. Even if things are hit, it literally doesn't matter, right? And so you could even play with the Fiendsmith cards, which is broken, and then if you're playing Pure, you get to play Wusu, you get to play Impulse, like all these broken cards like Extrav, like the world is yours, right? And I also like into the Mitsurugi deck, you can play Code Igniter, which is the rank 4 that just says Ritual Summon, which is crazy too. So deck has a lot of flexibility and a lot of different ways you can play it. I think that's the best deck in the game right now. Again, could be wrong, but I think that that's definitely the best deck. I think the second best deck is Malice, and the third is some kind of Fiendsmith variant. I think that those cards are really strong for what they are right now, and potentially we'll see a hit to them, but we'll have to wait and see to that. Talking about Fiendsmith, shout out to David who got first place at Indy. I've played against him before, really nice guy. But the deck was Blue Eyes Fiendsmith, and yes, Fiendsmith cards just elevate whatever they're in. They just do. Those cards are insane. Your deck loses to Droll, here are Fiendsmith cards, right? Moon, Requiem combo. And it's crazy because a lot of us were like, well, we can just like ban Moon or Exoton as well and just call it a day. But then we get decks like Evil Twin that are just like, all right, cool, here's a new Link one that's a late Fiend, right? And like, people are just finding other ways to do it anyway, which is really silly, but it's a thing that we're seeing. I really do think that Blue Eyes is, and I want to vomit in my mouth when I say this, but I think Blue Eyes right now is like top 5, which is crazy. And I think that that's like really unfortunate because, again, I don't know how this deck is getting there, but it is. It won Slovenian Nats this weekend. It won Indianapolis this weekend. The deck's doing things, man. Like, it just is. And I mean, like, you can play one of the Dominus cards. You could thrust set Song too, so you can go activate Song and then use your Dominus card after, so you could like add Purge. But of course, you needed a Trap and Grave already, so you need to kind of work that one out. But it's really interesting to see this deck popping up again. Again, I thought that it was just going to be gone, just dead, but I mean, it's top 5 right now. Blue Eyes is, and I just, again, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but like Blue Eyes is a top 5 contender right now. Now, I kind of touched on this earlier, but a lot of people's eyes right now are on, is there a ban list before Nats? Now, if you come up to me and you're like, GG, are we getting a ban list? I'm probably going to say no. I would expect that we would not. But there is a chance, because early July is right on track for us to get a ban list. Now, is it going to be very heavy-hitted if we get one? I don't really know. I think that there's a chance that they just straight out ban X, or at least limit it, right? Like, I think X is definitely going to be the one that gets hit. Or they could take a very interesting approach to it and just ban Meteor Logic, which I don't really think that that's fair in a way, at least to, like, the card, right? Because, like, the card itself isn't the problem. The way that it's being tutored out is the problem. And so, X, this is just, like, crazy take 101 right now. I think that if we saw, like, a hit before the national event, I could see all 3 of these cards going to 1. I think Engraver going to 1 and telling people that they just play with the 1 Engraver is something that I could expect to see, because a lot of people, even post-side, were going down to literally just 1 Engraver in their deck because you can still combo with it, which is kind of silly, but you can. So I could see Engraver going to 1, I could see Ox going to 1, and I could definitely see Impulse going to 1. Now, why would I say Impulse before a reprint? It's a crazy take, right? So I think that there's definitely going to be a world where we get a reprint of Impulse, everyone buys it, and they just straight up ban it or limit it. Now, I think that this was a card, and this was the conversation back when Fua came out. And it's really funny because people were like, Impulse is getting hit before Fua. And I think that that is a very relevant statement now, because Impulse is in, like, every best deck that can play it. Like, if your deck can play Impulse, you're playing Impulse. Like, the card's crazy. It's Solemn from hand, man. Like, the Solemns have been on the ban list. Like, don't let that fool you. Like, the Solemns have been on the ban list. Now, and I'm saying plural, like, the Solemns have been on the ban list. Impulse is Solemn from hand, man. Like, the card's gonna get hit at some point, okay? Like, it's just going to. Purge, sure, that's fine. Song, go for it. Impulse, it's getting hit. It's gonna get hit. It's gonna get hit. At some point in time, we're seeing Impulse on the ban list. But beside these 3, I don't really think that it's going to be like a big ban list. Maybe they give us like a heavy Stormback or like Sork for Nats, right? I could see something like that because we have the errata. But I don't think that we'd see a ban list before Nats, but this is just my prediction if we do get one before Nats. The best tech of the format right now, honestly, I said in my last video, is just Super Poly, man. Like, this card is so strong. Watching your opponent attempt to set up a board, or even if they're in a grind with you, and you see them go like, Binder, Banish, Cryptor, bring back Cryptor, Super Poly, get rid of it, right? Like, it's so crazy. It's so good. And you can just clear the link so that MTP doesn't do anything. The Earth Golem, the first line after this card is fusion summoned, you take no damage for the rest of the turn. Just doesn't activate, just applies. So even if you're in a weird situation and you just Earth Golem, you just can't die, right? So like, that's insane. You don't play Mud Dragon. Mud Dragon's so bad. You do not play that card right now for a Super Poly target. The card literally does less than nothing. You play Garura, and you play the Earth Golem. You do not play Marduk. You do not play Mud Dragon. These are your 2 best targets, and these are the ones that you really want to play. For my last slide here, this is Justice Hunters. This is going to be, I believe, August 1st. This is right after Nationals. Justice Hunters is the case that you want to buy. And I never advocate for buying like actual large sums of product. I always just say buy the singles. This is a case that you want to buy. Unless they're just going to mess up the ratios in this set like they already have in the past, this is going to be a set that is going to be very, very good to purchase. Because you have Canine, Dragotail, and Yummy. These are going to be like the best 3 decks in the format, dependent on whatever ban list we get after Nats. But I would assume if we don't see one before Nats, we're not going to get one after Nats until probably after this set and another YCS. So we'll have to wait and see how the ban list goes about. But I would imagine Malice gets hit again, Ryziel gets hit again, other decks get hit again, Fiendsmith gets hit, and they're just going to be like, here is Canine, Dracotail, and Yummy. And these decks are going to be insane. Canine is 90% of the OCG meta, whether it's an engine or a deck. So these are things you really want to make sure that you're on top of, because if you are not, this set is going to blindside you, and all of a sudden it's going to be extremely expensive for everything. So make sure that you are looking into the staples you need for these decks so you get them early. Also, right now, there are some websites out there doing cases of this for like $755. Really good price right now, I'm not lying. It's like, and normally it's like $850 or something, right? So if you can find one for under 8, I'm buying a set, right? Like, I'm buying a case or 2. So that's definitely going to be interesting. Again, I don't know if they're going to mess up the ratios on these. They could, or they couldn't. We'll see. But definitely going to be the best decks moving forward. If you haven't checked my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, or subscribe to the channel, definitely go ahead and do so. I appreciate all of you, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you.